Hello students and welcome back. We are doing the chapter light, that is reflection and refraction. And in the previous class we had the introduction of light, and we also understood the meaning of reflection of light and the laws of reflection, that we understood with the help of different diagrams. And at last we also understood the difference between the real and the virtual image. And this topic will have more clarity and will have more understanding once we start with the different ray diagrams or the image formation by different types of the mirror and the lenses. So let's start with the class now. Today very first we'll talk about the image formed by a plane mirror, what kind of image is formed, what are the different characteristics, and all things will be understood with the help of diagram only. So very first we understood the meaning of a plane mirror. If you have a flat surface, a glass, a transparent glass in this shape that is flat, and this is painted from one side, another side is non-painted, then in that case this will behave as a mirror. So a simple transparent glass, once it is painted from one side, another side is not painted, then in that case it starts behaving as a mirror. And if this glass is a flat object, that is it is having a flat surface, it is basically called a plane mirror. So overall what kind of image is formed by this plane mirror, that we are going to understand now. So the very first topic we have today is image formed by a plane mirror. So before we start, one thing we should remember, that now onwards for any kind of image formation we are going to take the help of the diagrams, that is called ray diagram. So for that we must take the proper help of the scale, pencil. Lines should be clear and there should not be overwriting also. So very first, when you talk about the plane mirror, we know the symbol for the plane mirror is this, that is a straight line with marking one side. So this is the symbol or the way to show the plane mirror that we understood. This side is the reflecting surface and this is non-reflecting surface, that is this is the painting side and this is non-painting side, that we know. So overall I am talking about the mirror. So this side is the reflecting surface where you can see the image, that is this side, and the painted side is the backward, this is shown other side. So that we know. So very first let's try to find out, if we have any dot, then what kind of image will be formed by the plane mirror for this particular dot only. That is, dot is nothing but a point size object. So I am marking this as O, and O is nothing but point size object. Okay, so we have placed a point size object in front of the plane mirror, and now we have to see what kind of image will be formed by the plane mirror and where will it be formed. So before we start, one thing we should know, that whenever we talk about image formation, we know the image can be formed only if the light coming from the object can be converged at a point, or if it seems to converge. So we'll understand properly once you'll get a proper diagram. So one thing we have to remember, that is, if you have any object, then from the object at least two rays of light we have to take, that is two rays of light coming from the object, at least two minimum, and then we'll see with the help of some optical device the rays may converge, the rays may diverge, both things are possible. So once the light coming from the object, they will fall on the mirror, and after falling on the mirror the rays will reflect. After reflection the rays may converge at a point, they may start diverging from each other, and accordingly our image will be formed. So overall, wherever the two rays coming from the object will meet together, we'll say the image will be formed there, and if the image will diverge, we'll see where is the image formation. So that we have to remember very first. So very first we'll try to find out any two rays of light coming from this point, and this we can do with the help of simple law of reflection we understood. So let's take this ray coming from the object, point size object O, and this ray is falling on the mirror perpendicular to the mirror. Now you know in this case your eye is nothing but 0 degree. Since the incident ray is along the normal, we know, if you remember, if you have the normal and if this is the incident ray, this is your angle I. Okay, so if this ray will be shifted towards the normal, means if the incident ray will fall on the normal, or if it will come along the normal, this I will reduce to 0 degree. So overall we are taking the condition when the incident ray is along the normal, that is between the normal and the incident ray, there is no angle, so that is 0 degree. And we know according to Ohm's law, according to the law by reflection, we know I is equal to R. So R must be equal to 0 degree, means the ray which is falling on the mirror will be reflected back, because overall the angle of reflection should also be 0 degree according to the law I is equal to R. So it is only possible if the ray will be reflected back. So we can say if the ray of light falling perpendicular to the mirror, then the angle of incidence is 0 degree and hence the reflection will be along the same direction opposite to the incident ray. So we can say now we got a second ray or the very first ray from the object which is coming after reflection. So very first, what I am trying to do, since the ray is coming back, so we imagine that maybe this reflected ray is coming from somewhere behind the mirror. So behind the mirror nothing is real, everything is virtual. So all the rays or all the lines I am going to draw behind the mirror will be dotted. So that is to be remembered. So we will complete the diagram, then we will have more understanding. So very first we are trying to find the very first ray which is from the mirror. So we got the very first ray, reflected ray here, that is coming back from the mirror. So one ray is not sufficient to complete our diagram, so we can take another ray of light falling on the mirror at some different point. Now we know what will happen to this ray if I apply the laws of reflection. So we can say this is nothing but I. So and this is the I, this is the normal which I have drawn now. So I and R must be equal, so this will get reflected back such that I and R will be equal. So we have to measure this angle approximately, same angle should be there, clear, and then we have to complete this diagram. So you can see this is your reflected ray. So the very first reflected ray we got this one. So we can say this is the very first reflected ray we are getting, that is coming along this line, and this is the second reflected ray. Okay, and both the rays are basically coming from the same object O, but they are reflected up from the plane mirror. Now if you see this reflected ray X and this reflected ray Y, what you see, they are basically diverging from each other. So since they are diverging from each other, so in front of the mirror it's not possible that they will converge, or if they cannot converge, the very first thing is to know they cannot form a real image. So we understood in the previous class, for the formation of a real image, it's necessary that the rays coming from the object after reflection from somewhere, they must converge. But since we are able to see in this diagram, the rays are diverging from each other, so it seems that this reflected ray Y is coming from behind the mirror from somewhere this point, and this reflected ray X is coming from somewhere behind the mirror from the same point. So if I say this particular point is O dash or O prime, this is the point where it seems that the two different rays of light are basically converging, but it's generally not happening because it is something behind the mirror and the rays cannot pass the mirror because mirror is an opaque object. So whenever we see the rays of light coming from the object and after reflection, if they start diverging, then it is understood in the front the rays cannot converge, and since the rays cannot converge, the real image cannot be formed. So it seems that maybe from somewhere behind the mirror, a particular point, they are coming. So O prime is the point where it seems that the two rays are basically converging, or they are meeting at a point, and this is the point where the image will be formed. So we can say here your O prime is nothing but image of O. But the thing is, since the rays are not real, because the rays are nothing but imagination we have done, that is behind the mirror, so in that case the image so formed will be a virtual image. So this O prime is image of O, which is nothing but virtual image. Okay. So O prime is the virtual image of point size object O. I hope you understood this much. I am repeating again. We started with a point size object O, and we are trying to find out if the rays are coming from the point size object O, it will fall on the mirror and then it will be reflected back. After reflection, we have to see if the rays are converging or diverging. Now here we understood after reflection the two rays are diverging. So we understood in front of the mirror they cannot converge, and if they cannot converge, it cannot form the real image. So it seems that if we extend the same line backward, if I extend this line backward, these two rays seem to meet at a particular point behind the mirror, and that point is the point where image is formed. And since they are actually are not meeting together, it seems to meet only. That's why the image so formed is virtual. And in that case, all the lines should be dotted. So everything behind the mirror should be dotted. That we have to remember. So I hope this part is clear. Okay, so from here we can understand few things. If we have this as the mirror, now this will be your X, for example. That is the distance of the point size object O from the mirror, and this is your distance of the image from the mirror, Y. So if you apply this in a proper way, if you measure this angle I is equal to R here, if both the angles are exactly equal, so automatically you will see the rays will meet at a point such that this Y and X will be equal. So in this case X and Y will be equal all the time. So we can say in general the image formed by a plane mirror is such that the distance of the object from the mirror is equal to distance of the image from the mirror. That is understood here. That is image distance is equal to object distance from where? From the mirror. So this is one of the characteristics of the image we got with the help of this ray diagram. Okay. Second thing is, you understood the image so formed is virtual. So we can say this is our very first characteristics of the image. Second characteristics we understood from this only, that is image is virtual. So image so formed is virtual. Why we understood? Because the rays actually don't meet at a point, they seem to meet at a point. Okay. And the rest thing we'll understand with the next diagram. So I hope at least this much is clear. So we understood two different characteristics of the image formed by the plane mirror with the help of point size object. Now let's take the other diagram for the plane mirror only. So again we'll start with a plane mirror with proper symbol and give time for the diagram, because that is very important thing. So diagram should be done in a proper way. Now anywhere I am taking the reference point, anywhere. Okay, so just take an example. So I'm just taking a base anywhere so that I can draw an object. Now in the previous case we did the ray diagram for a point size object in front of the plane mirror. Now I'm taking an object of proper height. So here I'm taking an object so that it should be more clear now. So now we have placed some object in front of the plane mirror, but this object has got some height, and let this height be HO, that is height of object. So remember what is HO, okay? Now for this we have to find out where the image will be formed behind the mirror and what will be the characteristics of the image. So very first thing is, what we'll do, we need to imagine here, that is, if we have the object AB, the height of the object is AB. Now we can imagine one point here at A and one point at B. So what is to be done? Very first we'll try to find out for the point A, that is the topmost point of the object, where will be the image. So for this point A, where will be the image? For the point B, where will be the image? So if we are able to find the image of A and image of B, rest points that we have, so between A and B we can think of infinite number of points. So rest infinite number of points we have in between. So for that we no need to apply any ray diagrams or any kind of rules. So once we able to find out the image of point A, image of point B, once we connect the image of A and connect the image of B, automatically what will get? The total image of AB. So all the time we apply this rule for any kind of mirror or lens for a particular height of the object. We just try to find out the image of A and image of B. Wherever the image of A and B will be connected, that will basically show the image of the entire object. So very first, let's try to find the image of the above point. So again we'll apply the same rule. A ray of light is falling. So very first we are trying to find the image for the topmost object. What will happen to this ray? Again this ray is normal, perpendicular to the mirror, it will get reflected back. So the very first reflected ray is coming back. So again we need to draw this extended in the forward direction. So just extend it, because we understood the rays will basically seem to coming from behind the mirror. Okay, now apply another rule, that is let's take here, or anywhere you can take. So what will happen to this? This is falling. Now for this incident ray, we can say this is acting as a normal. So this is the angle I. So automatically same angle will be the reflected angle. So same angle we have to measure other side, and we have to complete the diagram. So and behind the mirror dotted. So we can say this is the very first point we got, and this point is nothing but the image of point A. So A is the point object for the object AB, and A prime is the image of the same point. Now we need to find the image for point B. So let's apply the rule again. So here we can now again take the normal, and we know this ray will get reflected back, so we can extend it forward same way that we have done. Okay, and for this you can find another way. So what can be done? Let's take other way here. So from the same point, this is the incident ray, and this is nothing but acting as a incident angle. So same angle we have to measure other side. Same. But here we must take the help of the protector, which I don't have this time. So overall, wherever this point will meet, this point is nothing but the image of point B. So I hope you are able to understand what I did here. Very first, for point A, we tried to find two different rays of light, that is two rays reflected from the mirror. So we got the first ray, this one, and second ray, this one. So I can say this is the ray X and ray Y, which are for the point A, which are diverging from each other, and they seem to meet at point A prime. So A prime is the image of A. Now same thing we did for the B also. So first ray is reflected back here only. So this is, let it be P. So the first ray is this one, which is reflected back. I have given the name P, and second ray I have taken this one. So already understood, this is the reflected ray. So this is your PQ. So P and Q, again you can see they are diverging, and if you extend it backward, it seems they are coming from behind the mirror B prime. So overall, this is the point where image of B is formed, and this is the point where image of A is formed, and both are behind the mirror. So you understood the image of A and B is nothing but virtual, and once you join it properly, here you are getting some error because I have not used the protector, but once you connect A and B, what you will get the entire image of A, B. So once you measure this angle I and R, this angle must be equal. For example, this is I and R. If these two angles, the angle must be equal. Here also both angles must be equal. Then what you will get exactly, that is exact distance from the mirror or behind the mirror. It will form the image of height object AB. So we can say in this case your AB is your object, A prime B prime is your image, and that image is nothing but virtual. Okay, so if you now see the diagram or ray diagram properly, you will see your AB and A prime B prime will be equal. Okay, so this is the third characteristic of the image, that is AB will be equal to A prime B prime. So if I say the height of object is HO and height of image is HI, so we can say height of object is equal to height of image. Okay, so we got the third characteristics of the image formed by a plane mirror with the help of diagram. And the fourth thing you can see here, so A is upward, A prime is also upward, B is downward, and B prime is also downward. Means something at the bottom remains at the bottom and something at the top remains at the top. So we understood here that is, if the object is placed this way, image is also formed this way. So overall, what you see, the image remain upright. So the image is always upright or erect, it is not down. So in some cases it is also possible the image will go upside down, we'll see, but in this case what you see, image is upright. So that is the next property we have, image is upright or erect. So I hope you understood the basic properties of the image formed by a plane mirror with the help of the diagram. Diagram looks somehow very complicated, but once you do it yourself, applying the laws of reflection, automatically you are able to do it yourself, and then you have more clarity. But overall you have to remember, for each point at least 2 rays of light we have to take, that should fall on the mirror and they should be reflected back. Once they reflect, we have to see if they are converging or diverging. If they are diverging, we have to extend it backward. Wherever they meet, they will form the virtual image. Okay, if they converge, they will form the real image. And same thing we did for the point B also. So for A and B, we applied the laws of reflection and we found 2 rays of light for B and for A. That is total 4 rays of light reflected from the mirror. And then we finally getting the position of the image. So I hope you understood this much. And the last thing we need to understand here, that is the next characteristic we have. So this I am showing you roughly. So if this is the plane mirror, okay, and I write a particular alphabet, just for example B. So let me do in a proper way so that you'll have more clarity. So I'm writing B now. Okay, so now just imagine this is, for me this is one of the objects. So dotted I am showing here is the part of the B. So let this is your X. That's the first line of the B. Okay, and let this one is another point which is for me Y. So I'm just trying to see if X is here, Y is here. So Y is nothing but this particular point, X is nothing but this particular point or the entire line. Okay, so for the X, where will be the image? Image will be at the same distance. So if I take this one as M, the distance is M from the mirror, then at the same distance from the mirror the image should be formed. So at the same distance, what should happen? This line should come, same distance. Okay, so I'm not able to draw that much, but at the same distance behind the mirror, this will come. Okay, so this is nothing but your X prime. So understood, this line is forming the image here, same distance, applying the rule that the distance is same. Now for point Y, we know image has to be at the same distance, that is, if I say this is your N distance, so at the N distance the image should be formed. So it is understood this point will be shifted this side. So overall this point will come here, only then this distance can be same. So we can say the image so formed is something like this. So applying this concept, that is the object distance and image distance has to be same, we are finally getting that if you write the B this way, in the mirror it will look like this way. Okay, so this is nothing but the image is laterally inverted. So the left and right gets interchanged in the image, and this property is called the laterally inverted image. So we can say the last property we have, I think number 5, image by the plane mirror is laterally inverted. So I'll repeat it again. For this particular line we found the image, so that will be at this side. Okay, because distance has to be same. For this particular point Y, you know the distance is less from the mirror, so you understood the distance should be less from the mirror there also, and this is only possible if this portion will come this side. So this is the point, that is O prime. So Y prime and Y, they are same distance from the mirror. X and X prime are at the same distance from the mirror, and from here we can simply understand that the image gets laterally inverted. So that is all the properties we have, or the characteristics we have of the image by a plane mirror. So overall we have seen the different properties of the plane mirror. So briefly we can write down the properties of image by plane mirror. So if you combine all the concept, the very first we understood, that is the distance of object and image from the mirror are same. Okay, so suppose the distance that we are talking about, they are same. Okay, second thing we understood, the height is also same. So image height is equal to object height. I'm just writing now. So height of image or image height is equal to object's height. So we can write down HO, we can write down HI. That is the second thing we understood. Third thing we understood, image is virtual. Fourth we understood, that is image is upright. So all with the diagram we understood. And the last thing we understood, image is laterally inverted. So these are the main properties of the image formed by a plane mirror, and that we understood with the help of the ray diagram. And you must practice the diagram yourself with taking proper equal angles, which is not so possible on my board, but in the notebook you can try. You'll see all the properties that are written will come in the notebook also. So the only thing to be taken care, you must measure the angle with the protector. I and R should be equal, and the normal should be perpendicular to the mirror, and you apply all the rules that we understood in the previous class, and you see all the properties will come, and you must practice yourself to have a clarity of the ray diagram. So for today is done. In the next class we'll go for the next type of the mirror we have, that is spherical mirror. Two different types of the spherical mirror and the things related with the same. So we'll see in the next class. So for today is done. Just take care, be at home, be safe. Hari Om. Thank you.